The Lord has done great things for us, whereof we are glad. I'm Abner Daniels Jr., Senior Minister of the Hope Church of Christ, and surely we rise, we shine, and we give God the glory, the honor, and every ounce of the praise. As we celebrate and commemorate this historical day, that is the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King. We want to give God the glory, the honor, and the praise for all of his achievements, the way that he have paid for African Americans, this nation, and the world around. But you can't celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King without celebrating the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So happy Dr. Martin Luther King Day. And speaking of dreams, there was another man that had a dream before Dr. Martin Luther King, and his name was Joseph. I'm going to read two pivotal verses into your hearing. They would serve as a predicate for our devotion even on this morning. Genesis chapter number 37, verses 29 and verse number 30. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. So he rent his clothes, and he returned to his brethren and said, the child is not there. Where shall we turn? Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, if I needed a tag and a title, if you need a tag and a title, it would be, it's a pit stop. Somebody say it's a pit stop. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the half brothers of Joseph, they thought that if they just killed the dreamer, then they could extinguish the dream. They said, if we throw him into the pit, he will die in the pit. But what they didn't understand, child of God, is that when we get thrown into a pit, when you have the dream of God, when you have a vision of God, when you have a word from God, when you have a call from God, your pit becomes only a pit stop. Well, what's that, Brother Dan? Well, it's three things. A pit stop, it is a place that you go to simply reflect. It is a place that when you are in the pit, it's a place of isolation. It's a place of insulation. And see, the brothers did not contemplate that when Joseph hit the bottom of that pit, he was going to be alone. And it's in that pit that he was able to reflect on the magnitude of the dream that he had. Let me say that again, because when he was with his brothers, he didn't understand the magnanimity. He didn't understand the power and the impact of the dream and the vision that God had given him. But spending time alone in the pit, it became a pit stop. Therefore, he was able to reflect on the power and the promise and the prominence of the dream that God gave him. And you too, in your pit becomes a pit stop. Not only that, but a pit stop is a place that you re-up. You know, when those cars go into the pit stop, they get new gas, they get fuel, they get water, they get new tires. Why? Because sometimes you and I, when you carry the load of a dream, when you carry the burden of a vision, it is necessary to pull into your pit and make your pit a pit stop. That way you get reinvigorated, you get revived, you get revitalized, and you get everything that God needs you to have for the next leg of your journey. And then finally, brothers and sisters, the pit stop came a place of redirection. Well, what's that, Brother Dan? Well, that was just a leg in his journey. See, his pit became a pit stop so that he can re-up, reflect, and then be redirected by God. What you mean? Well, he is now on his way to his destiny. He is on his way to Egypt, because Egypt is the place that God will launch the destiny of Joseph's life. And how many of y'all know that when you're in your pit becomes a pit stop, a place for you to reflect, for you to re-up and then be redirected, because your pit becomes the new launching place for the destiny, for the call, and for the vision that God has on your life. So the next time you find yourself in a pit, make your pit stop, reflect, re-up, and then redirect your life and the call that God has on your life. Child of God, till the next time, God's good all the time, and all the time God is good. Go with God, God will go with you, and when you go, make sure you go in the glory of God. Make it a pit stop. Be blessed.